For me, Grace?
Yes.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into Thriving Through Movement. So we're talking about setting some really good wellness goals for the coming year. So I'm going to introduce myself real quick. I'm Lisa Gray. I'm the fitness coordinator with the Emory Healthcare Wellness Center. I've been here for 7 years. I've been in the industry for 22. I've seen a little bit of everything from my 20-year-olds just getting started to, I think my oldest client right now is 82 and she looks like she's 60. I love her dearly. But in between all of that range, we all have kind of similar issues and similar things we're working on. So let's kind of talk about the fitness industry for just a moment. Again, thank you, and I appreciate you joining me for this morning. I know I was a parapro in my previous careers until I realized what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I know how important it is to have time for prepping and time for all the administrative stuff that you have to do. Hey, Patty, I'm on a Zoom call right now. Thank you so much. So I appreciate you spending some time with me this morning. So just a little bit about our industry. Every day, thousands of fitness people are hitting the gym. So in 2023, I want to say we had, I don't know, a $31 billion industry. And that's a chunk of change. Within that $31 billion, we had approximately 64 million health club members in the United States alone. And that's almost doubling since 2000. So I feel like we realized during the pandemic, either our influencers have gotten in touch with us, or we realized that we could no longer wear sweats and we had to start wearing clothes again and they didn't fit. So one of the two happened. Or we just realized we really just have to be healthier. So with that 64 million or billion dollar industry, we're throwing all this money at these diseases that are affecting us systemically. Think about how many people you know who have type 2 diabetes or have pre-diabetic conditions. Think about all the people you have in your circle who have cardiovascular disease, any heart conditions. How many people do you know who have cancer? And then, of course, your neurodegenerative diseases. Those are the 4 horsemen. Those are the 4 big issues that are going to affect us when we are no longer 20. And I'm assuming that might be part of our demographic this morning. So these are things that can be preventable. These are things that we can take control of. There are a lot of things in our lives that we can't control, but this we can work on. But we're throwing all this money at it. And we still have heart disease. We still have type 2 diabetes. We still have a bunch of cancers that are affecting us that could be affected beneficially, and we're not doing it. So what are we doing wrong? We're doing something wrong. Let's start this with, we're going to call her Susie. So Susie goes to the doctor, we're going to say in October, and doctor says, hey, Susie, I looked at your blood work, and I'm checking your weight, and I can see a couple of different things going on, and I really need you to start working out. So, maybe your A1C is up. Maybe, you've gained 10 pounds this last year, 5 pounds this last year. And it needs to be addressed. So Susie goes, oh, okay, I hear you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. I'm going to develop a plan. I'll start working out. So Susie develops a plan. She gets excited. She goes out and she buys. Now, I don't know about you, but when I start a new program, I buy new shoes and I have to buy new workout outfits. I don't know if that's anybody else across the board, but I know that that's what happens to me. And I know that that's what happens when I see a lot of people in my gym, is that they've gone out and they've prepped for it. They've prepared themselves mentally. They've donned the uniform, and I'm going to start working out. They come in, they start working out, they work out hard for about a month, and then nothing changes. And when nothing changes, they give up. And that's 73% of the people who start a fitness program in some way, shape, or form quit it before they hit their target. Now, if you're like most people, you've done this once, twice, couple times, 3 times. I myself personally, before I finally figured it out, I was on round number 4. And so for me, I finally figured out I had to be a fitness professional. So if I got paid to do it, I would do it. Now, it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm making light of this. But we try several times. And every single time, something has gone wrong for myself specifically. I'm going to call me Susie. So what went wrong was we all go into the gym. We have a really good idea of what we want to do, but we really don't know how to get there. And we don't have a roadmap. So it'd be like me leaving from here and trying to drive to, does anybody know where Carbondale, Illinois is? So if I tasked you with, I need you to leave from where you're at right now. I want you to drive to Carbondale, Illinois with no GPS and no map. Could you get there? Probably not. Because A, nobody knows where Carbondale is. That's where I'm from. And then B, you don't know how to get there. So how are you going to get from point A to point B? So that's why we need a really good plan and understand how we're going to put all this together. So I have questions for you. And I know that you've all gone through setting goals for yourself. I know that you've all gone through putting together a plan. I know you do plans all the time, right? You put together your lesson plans, and you know how you're going to get from the start of the year to the end of the year and go through all of your testing and then learn everything that you need to learn in between. So this is kind of what we're going to do today. But I want to ask some questions maybe a little bit differently than what you typically hear them. So my first question for you is, what do you want? And don't tell me be healthy, because everybody wants to be healthy. What is it that you really, really want? Now, for me, when I first started my fitness journey, and it's going to sound really shallow and very vain, but for me, it's what worked and it's what motivated me. And there was this girl that ran through my neighborhood, and her butt looked better than mine. And again, it sounds ridiculous, but that's what got me into the gym, and that's what got me working. So what is it very specifically that you want? Or maybe a better question is, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? So think about that for just a moment. And then once you have that, what's going to be your biggest challenge? What's going to be your biggest hurdle? What is going to make it hard for you to achieve this goal? Is this, this might be your second, third, fourth time around. You've run into an issue before. What was that issue? What caused you to fail? What was it that, led to your derailing? Because we all start off really well. We have a plan, we're good, we're gold, and then something happens. What's going to be your challenge? Now, my next question for you is, but what's your strength? What is your superpower at achieving your goals? How can you get from point A to point B? What's going to see you through? Is it your determination? Do you have that I like to check the box kind of personality? I know that if I can check the box, I'm good. What's your secret weapon? So think about your personality and things that you can do that are going to make it easier for you to achieve what you're looking for. And my last question for you in this section is, there's one person in your life who, when things are going wrong or when things are becoming challenging, They're your person. That's the person you go to. That's the person that you are going to reach out to and go, look, man, I'm really struggling. Or this is my goal and this is what I'm working toward. Can you please check in on me and make sure that I'm staying on track? Who's your person? We all have one. Mine's my best friend. And bless Jennifer, I don't know why she puts up with me anymore, but she sure does. And I'm grateful for her. And if you don't have that person, you and I can be friends. We'll be bestest friends, and I will happily check in on you and make sure everything is going well. So now that we kind of know what we're looking for, let's be really specific about what we want. So I wanted my butt to look better, right? And that's really, again, very vain, very shallow, but that's what motivated me. I know that all the other things are going to come into play. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to be able to play with my grandkids. I'm going to be able to continue traveling. But for me and my brain, here, not back here, I really just wanted my butt to be better. So what did that look like for me? That was my specific. Maybe for you, you want to run. Maybe you want to be more flexible. Maybe you want to be able to pick things up off the floor. Maybe you want to move and not hurt. Maybe after standing all day, talking and teaching, you really want your hips to feel better, your feet to feel better, your legs to feel better. So what is it that's going to make you be content or happy with your results? So think about that for a second. Now, the next question is going to be, how are you going to mark your progress? How do you know that you're improving? What's going to be your benchmark? So for some people, it is, I'm going to check my scale. Maybe some people it's, I'm watching my clothes. Maybe it's, oh, I made it an extra block before I started getting winded. How are you going to measure how well you're doing? Now, once you know how you're going to measure it, I need you to make a small goal. Now, this is what 1% change, what one small change can you do that's going to help you every week get a little bit closer toward your ending goal. So maybe I'm not currently running, but I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk. My 10-minute walk is going to lead to a 15-minute walk. My 15-minute walk is going to lead to, I'm going to jog for maybe 5 minutes. I'm going to walk the rest. What is that one small change that you can make that's going to help you get over this hump of getting started? Because all you have to do is get started. That's it. And now once you have that small goal, let's start looking at what 90 days might look like. So I know how to run. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start jogging, walking. So maybe by the end of 90 days, my goal is going to be, I want to jog for 3 miles. 90 days is a lot of time. So figure out what that long-term goal is, and that's going to help us kind of map everything out. Now, if you're looking at losing weight, which a lot of us are typically going in that direction, again, everybody comes in, they say they want to be healthy, they want to be fit. But really what they're kind of telling me for the most part, I would say 95% of my clients want to lose weight in some way, shape, or form. What that typically means is they really just want to change their body composition, gain a little more muscle mass, drop my body fat percentage. So it doesn't necessarily mean lose weight. Personally, I don't think the scale is a really good identifier for me as I'm looking at my clients. I want to see how much muscle mass they're gaining. I want to see how they're improving with their strength. And if they're doing that, everything else is going to come. I don't have to worry about, what's going on with their body fat percentage. It's going to drop. That's not one of my big concerns. So does all that make sense so far, guys? Grace, if you have any questions or if there's anything in the comments, please let me know. So now here's where the nitty gritty comes in. So we kind of know what we want to do, but I really want to know why. Why is this goal important to you? Why is it important to you that you run, or why is it important to you that you start to lose weight or change your body composition? Did your doctor tell you you had to do this? That's nice if somebody tells you have to do this. But what's really important to you? So for me, I know that I want to continue to travel. I know that there are certain chronic diseases that are prevalent in my family that I know that I have to watch out for. There are things that I want to continue doing. I've got 4 grandbabies that I want to continue playing with. And dear Lord, those boys are running me in the dirt. And I know that I'm going to have to keep working out if I want to continue playing with them and doing the things they do. I was up there in Illinois, they had me playing wiffle ball. Wiffle ball, of all things, at 10 o'clock at night. And so I want to continue doing that. I want to be that grandma that is hanging out with them all the time. I want to travel. But in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that my body is going to allow me to do that. So what is your why? And it really has to be very specific for you. And don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Don't worry about what anybody else says. This is for you. And then once you have your why, I want to know why this time that you're starting is different. Because we've done this. We've done this. I've done this at minimum 4 times that I can think of right off the top of my head. But why is this time different? How focused are you on your goal? How focused are you? It really dialed into what your purpose is. Because once you have a purpose, this becomes a whole lot easier. So maybe last time you couldn't picture your success. Maybe you couldn't see what it looked like. Can you see it this time? So guys, let's talk about some daily goals, and then I'm going to get into how to really put together a really good program that's kind of for optimal fitness. Well, let's get through this first, and we'll go into all the details. So what daily goals do you need to set for yourself? So think back to that small goal you had. What daily goals do you need to set for yourself that are going to get you toward your end mark? What's going to get you there? So take the time, maybe find 3 or 4 things that you can do that are going to be small enough you can fit them into your day, but by the end of 90 days, you're going to be closer toward your goal. And I don't know about you, but I need a reward. I need to know that I have to bribe myself. And I'm just that person, and I know. So I know that if I want something done, I'm going to have to promise myself I'm going to do X whenever I do the thing. So I try to go non-food, although I am a big fan of ice cream. I love to throw it in as much as I possibly can. I can absolutely 100% justify ice cream, a little protein, a little calcium, a little vitamin D. Whoop whoop. Life is good, but that's not how I want you to start thinking about rewarding yourself. What can you do non-food related that you can reward yourself for doing your daily goals? Maybe you're the checkbox person and it feels really stinking good to check the box. Mark it off the list with a Sharpie. maybe it feels really good to go, you know what? I did all my goals for the week, so I'm going to spend a couple hours with some self-care. I'm going to reward myself with a pedicure. I'm going to reward myself with a quiet afternoon of reading. You have to look forward to something, and you have to have that something that is going to make you feel good about the progress you're making. So it's okay to bribe, and I know, again, as a parapro, I'm sure I bribed kids more than once to get them to do what I need them to do. Our bodies are the exact same way. I kind of think of myself as a 5-year-old that I have to really kind of keep on track sometimes. Okay, so now that we have a really good idea of what we want, we know what our challenge is going to be, we know what our strength is, we have our person that we're going to contact when things go wonky, and they're going to go wonky. It's going to happen. We just have to get back on track, and that person is going to help you get there. And we know really why we want to do the thing. We know very specifically what it's going to look like and how we're going to measure it. And we know what small things we have to do in order to get to our end result. So you can use that map for just about any goal that you want to set. It could be a reading goal, it could be a budget wise, it could be anything. Looks very, very similar to your SMART goals that you set all the time. I just ask questions a little bit differently, maybe. So let's go back to my industry, and my industry is typically what's the number one reason people exercise? And I've kind of already gone over this. And they tell me all kinds of fun stuff, but really they just want to lose weight. At the end goal, that's what they see. And when I see a person, I'm like, okay, I want to change the body composition. I want to gain some muscle mass. I want to see their cardiovascular health improve. I want to see different skill levels being developed. I want to see their balance improve. So when all those things happen, when your strength improves, your cardiovascular health improves, you develop some new skills, you develop some power. Once you do those things, your weight's going to come in line. It really is just a side effect of working out and being good to yourself and being healthy. All right, so let's think about this for just a moment. In the next 20 years, 20, 30 years, what do you want to be doing? If we took it down to a lifespan question, and I want to be healthy for as long as possible, what do I want to be doing in the next, like the last 10 years of my life? What do I want to be able to do? So I've included a list of things that come up often in our conversations. And maybe some of these apply to you. I don't know, kind of take a look at it and see if anything works, if anything is jogging a thought process for you. Okay, here we go, guys, the plan. How much time are you willing to commit? So we know we need to work out. We know we want to get healthy. We know why we want to get healthy. I need to know how much time I have per week. So whatever time you plan on committing, I want you to divide in half. Half of that time you're going to spend for strength and mobility. The other half of that time you're going to spend for cardio. And they're both important. There's not one more important than the other. They're both going to get you toward your goal. But for optimal health, we have to have both in our life. So most of my clients will say, I'll do an hour a day every weekday. Okay, cool. That's great. So let's just go ahead and break it down. We'll say 5 hours per week. I'm going to say that's 2.5 hours for strength and mobility exercises, and that's 2.5 hours for cardiovascular activities. And this is kind of how I would break down a full week for one of my clients. So maybe I would do a class one day, I would go walking on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I'm going to do maybe a 5x5, so 5 strength machines. I'm going to do 5 sets at a weight that's challenging but doable. I think that's where a lot of us miss the mark, or we don't see progress as quickly as we would like to. So you need to start at a weight that is doable, but then start increasing it to a point of where it becomes challenging. So everything has to have a little, I don't want to call it discomfort, but I want to push you a little bit toward that edge of, I'm not a fan of doing this. It's hard work. I'm not hurting myself, but it's very doable here. Okay. So on Thursday, I would go into maybe an interval training type situation to where I am maybe increasing my heart rate for 2 minutes at a time and then bring my heart rate back down to a comfortable range for 2 minutes. And then back and forth, up and down for 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I think I would do like maybe 3 to 4 rotations with that process or that type of modality. Next day is Friday. I'm gonna do strength training for 3 to 5 different machines, doing 3 to 5 different sets again. Saturday, I'm gonna take a walk and I'm outside. I'm gonna have a great day. Maybe I'm gonna spend an hour. It's an active recovery day. Sunday, I'm gonna do a little bit of zone 2 cardio, getting my heart rate up. I can talk, but I don't really want to talk to you. And then maybe a little bit of mobility movements, and that wraps up my week. Does that kind of make sense to everybody? I've got 2 strength training days in there. I have more of a muscle endurance day on Monday with a class in the group fitness room. I love my group. I'm a group person. I started my fitness career in group fitness. But most times, everything you do in a group fitness setting is going to be muscle endurance. We really need those strength days out on equipment if you're going to start looking at, or heavier weights. Maybe it's a heavier body weight movement to increase your strength training. And then, of course, getting my cardio in peppered throughout the week. And that VO2 max interval training is really important as long as your doctor says it's okay for you to increase your heart rate. And always before you start anything, please, please, please check with your physician if you're at all concerned about any health issues that are currently going on. So we've done this. We've gone through, we've started working out in the gym, we've done it 3 or 4 times now, and we're stuck. But the thing is, you're not really stuck. It's just that you're relying on habits that got you through at one point. They were successful. Maybe we were successful at losing weight before. We're trying it again. We're doing the exact same thing. It's not working. It's simply a habit or a behavior that worked before and is not working now. And it's okay. So we just have to kind of regroup and think about, what can I do differently that's going to be helpful or beneficial with my body now, as opposed to when I was 20 or the first time I went through this process. So don't feel like you're stuck. You're never stuck. It's just a matter of finding what path is going to be better for you at this point in time. So as we're looking at your habits, why don't you start small? You're not going to go out and assume that you're going to do an entire week just like I planned it out for you from the get-go. It's probably not going to happen. And it's really okay. So it might be something as simple as starting a walk. You go out, you're going to walk for 5 minutes, and then you come back and go back to work. Maybe you take a 10-minute break and you do 10 squats and you do wall push-ups. Okay, that's progress. That's something you weren't doing before. So don't feel like it's an all or nothing process. That's not what it is. This is a marathon, guys. We're not sprinting. So just take your time, be kind to yourself. I want you to treat your body like you would treat a loved one. We never do that to ourselves. We force the issue. We force everything to happen. If it were your spouse and you try to force your spouse to do something, what's going to happen? It's going sideways. I mean, I know what's going to look like at my house. If I try to force my guy into doing anything, he is going to do the exact opposite and he's going to fight me the entire way. But if I can massage it and kind of, suggest maybe this might be a thought process, maybe talk him through it, it becomes a little more gentle, a little easier to accept than me trying to force it down his throat. Your body works the exact same way. If you try to force it to do something, it's not going to work for you. So please be kind to yourself. Listen to your body. Another thing you can do is start stacking your habits. So if you want to do 10 squats in the morning, maybe you do that while your coffee is brewing or the microwave is on. You can do 10 seconds for the microwave. You can squat while you brush teeth. Just please be careful. Be kind. But if you put that habit with something you're already doing, it becomes a little bit easier to kind of keep control of. It doesn't get lost. And you really think about how that's going to look. So instead of, I'm going to do 10 squats at lunch, before I get my lunch out of the refrigerator at lunchtime, I'm going to do 10 squats. It's an exercise snack. It's a beautiful thing. I like snacks. And then understand that something's going to go wrong. Something is going to go absolutely wrong. So what's your emergency plan? What happens when you've got a deadline you have to meet? You have parent-teacher conferences and you can't, work it into your schedule that week. What happens if somebody gets sick? You get sick. You go on vacation. I mean, life is going to happen. What is your plan when that happens? How do you get yourself back into the process? And this is one of those situations where you're calling your person, when we talked about at the very beginning, you're calling your person's going to go, hey man, I know it's been a rough week, but what if we do a walk on Saturday and then just back on track? So these are all different things that you can do to get yourself over that finish line and understand that fitness is a prescription for life. I want to continue doing all the things that I like to do up until my very last breath. And if I want to do that, I have to take good care of my car. I have to take good care of my vehicle. So I've got to change the oil. I have to take it in for maintenance. I have to do all the things. Same with my body. I have to be good to it. So I am here at the Wellness Center. If you run into situations where you need a hand, we're absolutely here to help you. I don't mind answering questions if you ever just need somebody to give a phone call to. We do fitness assessments for you. We'll have group fitness classes, personal training, massage therapy. And of course, we do all kinds of fun monthly challenges here at the Wellness Center if you're ever interested. Oh, and by the way, before I go too far, this lady right here is 70 years old. I know every single time I say that, nobody has any idea how old she is. She moves like she's 20. I love Ellie. She's absolutely lovely. She's one of our group fitness instructors. So it's never too late. And it is always accessible to everybody. So let's take a second, guys. I want you to close your eyes. I know we're going to bring to the end of our meeting. Close your eyes. I want you to take a big, deep breath and good exhale. And I want you to picture yourself knowing what your goal is and knowing what you would like to change. I want you to pretend that you don't make any changes. You continue doing what you're doing. Big inhale, good exhale. I want you to picture what you're doing in life in 10 years. Maybe 15 years, 20 years, what that looks like. Who Who are the people who are around you? What are you doing? See how that sits with you. How does your body feel? How do you feel about where you are in life? And now I want you to think about that for just a moment. So you haven't made any changes. You've continued doing what you're doing. And now let's bring yourself back to your chair. Close your eyes, take a big deep breath, feel your feet underneath you, feel the chair under your hips. And now I want you to think about what life is going to look like if you make that change. In 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 years, what does your body feel like? Who are the people around you? What are you doing? What are you able to do? Sit with that for just a moment. And now slowly bring yourself back to your chair. Feel your feet. Feel the chair underneath your hips. Let's go ahead and open your eyes. And I'm going to leave you with a couple of different movements that you can use throughout the day to make you feel a bit better. So I don't know about you, but here at the hospital, I start my day with typically a yes. I'm getting up for the morning. I'm excited. I'm fired up. It's a hallelujah moment. Hallelujah. It's going to be a great day. And then at some point in time during the day, I end up with what just happened. And I do that throughout the day. I end up with hallelujah and then what just happened. So go ahead and join me if you don't mind, real quick. Arms go to ceiling, big reach, hallelujah. Pull your elbows down toward your hips with what just happened. Think about 4 or 5 of those. Okay, so you can do these throughout the day. The next thing, I want you to pretend you're in your car and you're driving. And somebody in the back seat, usually my grandkids, are doing something wrong. And I'm going to reach back, I'm going to go knock it off. So I'm driving, I'm going to reach back, knock it off. So give me a couple of those. And now you're sitting in your passenger seat. Same thing, passenger seat, reach back, knock it off. Give me a few more. Last one. And then bear with me, I'm hoping you're in your room and nobody else can see you. But it really helps. So be kind to yourself for just a moment. So you're gonna put your hands on your thighs. And I want you to take your tailbone, you're gonna tuck it underneath and then push your butt back. So tuck your butt underneath and then push your butt back. And do that a couple more times. Easy tuck, easy push. Last one. Bring it back and bring it all the way back up. So shoulder mobility, we got a little thoracic rotation, and then we loosened up your low back. So everything should feel a little bit better, hopefully. So that's my parting gift for you. If nothing else, you've got a, we call it the nurse's station twerk, because, you know, it's nice and easy, and then we get good rotation through the shoulders. Guys, do you have any questions for me?
The chat is open and the Q&A section is open as well if anyone wants to drop in any questions for Lisa.
Oh, sorry, my conference room's a mess. I didn't have room in my office to do the talk. I apologize. The service is free massage therapy. So massage therapy, it is extra, but our rates are extremely, extremely good. As far as personal training and massage are extra, but everything else is part of your membership. I do have a pool here. I have group fitness classes. I have a full track with all the equipment you could ever think to use. Any particular times, how to be registered, please. I missed that. Oh, absolutely. So if you are interested in joining the Wellness Center, we are at the intersection of North Decatur and Church Street in the professional building at the Emory Decatur Hospital. So as you're coming off of North Decatur, going toward the main hospital, the professional building is over to the right and we're in the basement. If you're ever looking for me, I hang out in the closet in the back. They do occasionally let me out, but it's not real often. I missed it about triceps. Hang on, I'll get back to the triceps in just a second. For registration, all you have to do is come in, bring your driver's license with you to the front desk, and we can get you signed up. If you have silver sneakers or if you have Renew Active or One Pass on your insurance, we do take all of those and we do give a discount for our educators. Tricep exercises. Oh, these guys. Oh, they're so much fun, aren't they? They're the worst. Anytime you extend back, so if you think tall, right? Oh, here, I'm gonna strip this off so you can see what's going on. Sorry, I was just teaching this morning. So anytime you extend back, your tricep is going to engage. So I like here. And truthfully, if you just did this in your room with no weights, water bottles here, I like an extension with a little squeeze. Those are always fun. Tricep dips are always fun. So you can do those in your chair. So if I'm in my chair, I could dip here and get triceps. So you can do this again, as long as you don't have a rolling chair, you can do this in your room. Did I miss any other questions? What are the days and times for Wellness Center business hours? So we're all week long. So Sunday through Saturday. And we open at 5:30 in the morning during the week. We close at 9 Monday through Thursday, 7:30 on Fridays. Saturday, Sunday, we're open 8 to 4. Any other questions? Did anybody have a really good goal they want to share? So I got like a whole chat room full of accountability partners. Sorry, I've been gone on vacation and everybody's trying to find me. I apologize. Any other questions, guys? The best way. Yes, I love you. So I think it's a fantastic goal. Reducing your biometric age to lower than your chronological age. I love it. Now do you guys we have a share care here. It's a health and wellness program that we can go through and put in all of our vitals, all of our information, and it gives you your biometric age. Do you have that? It's a pretty sweet little program if you don't have one. Or does anybody wear their watch? Is anybody a tracker? I'm a tracker. But I'm also I like numbers. All right, so the best way to get in touch with me if you have any questions is I'm going to give you my email address. I'm going to give you my email address, and I'm also going to give you my phone number. So my email is Lisa, Lisa, dot Gray, Gray, at emoryhealthcare.org. Thank you, Grace. And you can also reach me at 404-501-5793 with the caveat, I am very rarely in my office. It takes me maybe a couple days to get back to you. If you have not heard back from me, please, please, please call me back. I promise I'll get back with you. All right, guys, thank you so much for sharing your morning with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful fall break. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm not excited for the parents. No, I'm kidding. But enjoy. If there's anything I can do to ever help you, please let me know. Every day, guys. Enjoy.
Alright, thank you everyone for joining today. I'm going to stop the recording.